Good morning.
My name is Linda Angio, and on behalf of the co-pastors and our Board of Trustees, we welcome you to Colby Memorial Temple for our Sunday service. To begin our service, Michael Vogel will light 3 lights, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. Thank you, Michael. Please rise for our opening prayer and remain standing for our first hymn. Mother, Father, God, Divine Spirit, bless this service and those who are gathered here today with peace, love, understanding, and gratitude for all your many blessings. Amen.
Okay.
All right. Our first hymn will be led by our vocalist, Jamie, and it's number 120, Light in the Corner.
Do not wait until something of greatness you may do. Do not wait to shed your light afar. To the many duties ever new, you never be true. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor, you may guide across the bar. Right in the corner where you are, just above a clouded sky that you may help to clear. Let not narrows of your way be barred. Though into one heart alone may fall your song of cheer. Right in the corner where you are, right in the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor, you may guide across the bar. Right in the corner where you are. Here for all your talent, you may surely find a need. Here reflect the bright and morning stars. Even from your humble hand, the breath of life may be. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the corner where you are. Right in the someone far from corner, you may guide across the bar. Right in the corner where you are. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Jamie. Located on the handout and in the front cover of the hymnal are our Declaration of Principles. Please join with me in reciting these principles together. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual and that he makes his own happiness or unhappiness as he obeys or disobeys nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. The healing prayer is located in the back of your hymnal. Please recite it with me. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Now, for those of you who would wish to receive spiritual healing, please take a seat along the wall and go to the next available healer. While the healers work, the rest of us will join in a guided meditation. So now I would ask you to just get comfortable in your chairs. Place your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and just clear your mind of any thoughts and relax. I am going to read several statements and would ask you to notice how each one makes you feel. While you can perceive a consciousness that is different than yours, everything is your energy. What creates chaos is a lack of consciousness, a lack of presence, a lack of allowing energy to support you and guide you and flow to you. There is no problem that has ever been solved from the same perspective or viewpoint that created the problem or the issue. If you want to live in a peaceful, loving, harmonious world, you must first create it within you. Know that everything happens for you, not to you, and it is all for your highest good. It's about who you became in your transformation. You're more beautiful, more abundant, more loving, and more conscious than ever before. The reality around you is a reflection of the reality within you. Align your consciousness with a state of comfort, peace, harmony, and love. Then extend that to everything that is actually in your reality. When you really understand how important you are, you will live like you have never lived before. You can decide to experience the existence of God and the source in everything by slowing down, creating space, being present, allowing all that you are. The really fun part of the human experience is that every moment holds the possibility for miracles, magic, and divinely orchestrated, beautiful creations. Transformation has occurred. There's nothing to wait for. Now is the time to play and create in new levels of consciousness. You are all that is and all that will ever be. You are the source. You are the divine. You are all of it. If you stay present in the moment, in your consciousness, you can recognize that there are other consciousnesses, but that everything that you perceive is your own energy. Nothing out there is controlling your experience. Nothing is taking energy from you. The path you're taking is the path of the way shower. The way you live your life is how you create a new paradigm. If you want to create anything in the world around you, you must first create it within yourself. The first step is always you, not what's going on out there, but what's going on within you. You can only contribute what you are. You can only give what you are. Remember, you get more of what you already are. How long it takes you to align with what you want and create is within your reality, is up to you. This is the greatest time that has ever existed in human consciousness. It is because of you that a new reality is forming. The energy that creates worlds is you. It's you. There's nothing out there that can take your energy. You are that which you call God. Now take a minute or two and think back to a particular statement that may have meant more to you than the others. And then ask yourself, why? Now, when you are ready, take another deep breath and open your eyes. If you have received a healing resulting in a correction or improvement, please complete the yellow card in your hymnal and give it to the pastor at the back of the temple. You may mail the card into us, or you may place it in the collection basket. This is what the card looks like. All right. We would like to thank our healers for sharing their gift of healing. Healers from my left to right are Darlene McCormick, Reverend Judy Cooper, Reverend Dr. Sheldon Ganberg, Daryl Demerit, and Lori Carter. Thank you. Now please stand for our next hymn, number 162, Spirit Calls Us.
Spirit calls us all the truth. Welcomes the seas, rain and highways, message brings, seven planets where we be. As a world that return, over again, we'll be your way. Seven homes and thousand rainbows, seven more organizations. Spirit calls us, for he loves us. Angels help us hear the call. Send we back the best message. Bring angels from their own. Angels call us from our troubles. Therefore, as of the flame, in the day, shore of power. Fly with him or two. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Jamie. And now I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today, Joy Sagar. Joy is a certified medium, healer, teacher, and a longtime member of Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp. He serves on our board of trustees, which is an all-encompassing position to have in the camp. We are very grateful for all the energy and hard work Joy pours into the camp. Joy's purpose is to motivate clients towards their next best thing in this lifetime. Joy believes that hope, encouragement, and positive changes are always accessible to all. So now please join me in a warm welcome for Joy Sagar.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Wonderful. I just wanted to mention, if you had looked at our schedule for the service today, Reverend Steve Atkins was supposed to be here with us, but due to unforeseen circumstances, he is not presenting this lecture, and I have the honor and the privilege to step in. And thanks for your support from here on forward. Just wanted to say that. So before we get into further in our conversation, I just wanted to remind everybody, when I am presenting, speaking, I speak from inspiration. So we will all share this together in some way, shape, or form. And these are reminders for me, and I know that it is how it is set up for me. So just work with that. So that being said, my morning started because knowing this is going to be happening. So I was in my little meditative place and thoughtful mind, and I realized I had a lot to say. Right? Does it sound familiar? I have a lot to say. And as soon as I started putting my clothes on to get ready, all I heard was just shut up. Pay attention. And I'm not kidding. This is not feel good just making this is exactly what I feel like. Just pay attention. And I have to start this way. That's all I need. That's all I know. So reflecting on the year so far, we're right almost in the middle of June, and it is the center of the year. And so far, my reflection on my personal journey by speaking and inspirational talks, I'm finding the series is just nothing but simple reminders. And we all need that time and time again. So catching ourselves in the middle of something is a wonderful thing. I also call it path of least resistance. And my sense with that is it's simple as just getting out of the way. And I think that was my reminder this morning is you got too much going on, just step out of it. And just how it is. So there's a beautiful part in our spiritualist journey that focuses about inspiration and where it comes from, where it is catapulting us into the forward motion of our lives. And it is hard to say everything one shoe fits all because we're all different. We're all made up differently. We're processing the same information based on our level of awareness and unfoldment. So it shifts and moves and changes all the time. So we have to be ready that what I understood 2 months ago might have a little refinement going on forward if the same experience comes into the fold of our sense. So that inspiration that we have access to, just as we say the word infinite intelligence, that inspiration is infinitely, abundantly present for all of us. Not limiting by any stretch of explanation, literally and otherwise. So that inspiration is constantly riding within us, allowing us to unfold in the most natural and the most harmonious way possible. There's a little quote by Mozart that says, music is not in the notes, it is in the silence in between. Think about it. While we are in an act of any kind, it's a creation, but the realization of what is being created is when the act finishes and we have a moment of reflection, either through silence or life can throw us off track, and then we get to realize, oh, what was going on. So that little pauses in our lives and inspirations are very important because over time, we are all recognizing there's too much information to take in and to process and to even rely which one is right or which one is applicable one over the other, spiritually and otherwise. So those little pauses are a good place to understand, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Does it feel right? Doesn't it? If it does not feel right. So those pauses are always a wonderful thing, is there. So when we are speaking or when we are communicating with each other, you do find there might be a need time we overstated whatever we had to say. We could have stopped shorter, but that's the virtue and the value of spoken word is once it's let loose, ta-da, the Netflix tone, ta-da. But my sense with that is that's part of awareness is if that has happened in the past or is happening in your current circumstances, allow yourself a gentle pause. Sometimes it is deliberate. Sometimes you have to practice it. Sometimes you have to cognitively say, I think I'm said my piece is there. So you have to be mindful of that space. Because when we look for signs and symbols from those that have passed on for confirmations, closures, validation, encouragement, etc., it's not while the act of asking is happening. The signs usually show up when that act finishes. We put out the request and we have to just be quiet and patient and pause in receiving. So putting out there is not much different than receiving. So when you put out there signs and language of confirmation of any kind, are you giving it enough time to look for those answers, those clues, those signs that the infinite world of spirit is ready to provide us? Right? There's also such a thing, I want this specific sign. That's the only time I would understand it. I'm pretty sure we have all done it in some version of it. We want our gratification within receiving that our demands are being met. Sometimes they are met, sometimes they're not met. And when they're not met, it definitely induces a little sense of disgruntled dissatisfaction, like they don't love me anymore, or they're not paying attention to me. But that's just how it is. That patience is constantly tested by people that are living, by those that are passed on, because they are continually offering us lessons in growth for ourselves. So how many of us are here good at keeping diary or writing journals? A lot of us. Some of us will detest writing. Why? Question you need to ask yourself. I don't have the answer. But the thought here is, if you're writing, if you're journaling, have you written long enough that it tires you out and then you slip out of your own cognitive brain and let that inspirational space step forward and give you the message that you really need? Sometimes writing is a version of verbal vomiting on a paper to letting things out, and that's beneficial in some ways. But what we are really wanting to slip in is that neutral part where we're done, we're exhausted, we're overstated ourselves, and then that inspiration of encouragement just slides right in. If you look at it, it's simple activity, but at the same time, it can be very beneficial. In our spiritualist language, there is such a term called automatic writing. And it has been for years and years on practiced, utilized, and documented of its effectiveness. There has been few critical cases solved by a virtue of somebody receiving the information through automatic writing, passing it on to those that needed it, and the cases were resolved. So there is much more than just uplifting our own spirits. The automatic writing has so many more virtues from it. One of our profound writers in our spiritualist movement was William Steed. And then Andrew Jackson Davis also had a lot of volumes of educational material provided through automatic writers that becomes a so sought after reading material for those that are interested in spiritualism, occult sciences, metaphysics, and so forth. That's not limiting in just one form, but there's so much more. So this gesture of writing long enough for you to slide into the automatic writing side of it can be achieved. So those that are resisting writing, I am gonna provide you a little nudge of trying that as a homework to try it out. Give yourself a month, sit periodically when you're inspired, write and see where it leads you. What is there in that self-discovery that you might be resisting? That could be just simply as something exciting to discover. But I will assure in a way that when you're writing so incessantly, you are bound to slide into that neutral space, and then you are in the receptivity of what is following from the higher frequencies of your own vibration on your own higher self, spirit, loved ones, and other ancestors, guides, and so forth. But the act of getting out of the way sometimes happens when we are far more exhausted. You know, that feeling of, oh, I'm just about to give up. Those little things, those little nuances are just waiting to see how far we can take ourselves. And they're right there. And I know from my own two shoes and experiences, I've cut myself short, just close to getting into some exciting information. But my sense is, how do you inspire yourself? How do you take yourself in the journey that can be a life-altering experience for yourself? So those that write stories, fiction, you are receiving information with a mixture of your own cognitive imagination and something that is invisibly present in that process. So you could start to write a story and just know you ran out of character, you ran out of the plot, but something is still continuing. You could examine it as that. So surrender is only the need to know that I will let it flow, and that's all. And my sense with that is that can be very golden, is there. Now, the other part of receiving messages from other side or from our loved ones is when we are least expecting. How do you dismiss that sign? I'm not even thinking about that, and my pre-formed, pre-understood sign is right there, just as a reminder of confirmation, validation that they're walking with us. And that's just sometimes how simple it is. There's no need, or there's not a really deep need to understanding what the message is in this, what they are trying to say, just as a simple joy and a pleasure of saying they're with us. And they're giving us the boost of saying is keep going. And that's all it takes. But coming back to that thought process of understanding, if you're really wanting the sign for yourself, are you giving it enough pause, enough quietness to receive what is being revealed in that experience? That's a little bit of effort and a little mastery in it. Once again, you will have to pick your own rhythm with it, but that is absolutely available to you. Now, looking in your own personal lives, the same rule applies. Am I allowing myself enough opportunity for growth and expansion? Because that, like change, is inevitable. We are growing, we want it or not, just it's always happening. So finding that opportunity of where that growth potential is happening in our skill sets, in our ability, in our personality, in our behavior, in our choices, is always in between those pauses, because those pauses are allowing us a generous but simple amount of assessment. What I've done, did it feel right? What I'm participating with, is it naturally there for me? So assessing that is very important. If any activity or any choice that doesn't lead you in a good place, that is also giving you a little subtle messages. Do something differently about it. Don't continue to deepen the sore place that you're in. So part of that choice comes with the subtleness of quietness of assessment. And it can be internal, it can be external, and it can be omnipresent. You have one simple choice to make, to just be observant. Just pay attention to what is going on, and that is very important. Is there. In the part of our personal growth, often we have found, because we are all humans at some level, regardless of what your level of awakening and ascension is, you're still human. But what my thought is, sometimes I will speak from my place and then you may understand from your own journey. Sometimes I have a great ability to minimize my progress, because I'm just so tuned into that bigger picture that I've created in my mind for that, what it needs to look like. So I minimize small ahas and small progressive encouragements for myself. And I just dismiss and minimize and absolutely become critical of myself that I'm not moving fast enough to get to where I need to be. So my progressiveness, my desire of pushing myself, just kind of washes off all the little reminders and the nudges life has offered me in that place. But at the same time, I am still accomplishing what I have to accomplish. So what I've learned over many years of my self-awareness and self-inquiry is to take those little ahas, take those little moments of recognition and be grateful for it. Be grateful for this one small thing, because it might add something to a bigger picture later on without my being completely aware of it. Small decisions lead us to the bigger decisions. And that's just how life works. One day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time, we get to enjoy the next breath, the next step, the next opportunities in our lives. And that for me is something greater. What my greater reprieve is in my journey of spiritualism is this constant awareness, I will never be alone. No matter how many friends, family members pass on, move away, separate by choice and circumstance, I have this constant assurance, I will never be alone. No matter where I live, no matter where I am, with who I am, I'm always guided and supported for my greater good. My job is, just like this morning as I started the conversation, shut up and pay attention. So if you have already said that a few times in my mind, Joy, just shut up and sit back. I might do that. Before I do that, I will remind you of one simple thing, and it comes from my school days, 6th, 7th grade. We had these, in our Hindi class, we used to have little couplets that we would work by, and that was for forming our ideas and thoughts. And in the history this man existed. So this is not a fictitious character. His name is Sant Kabir. He was born in complex circumstances, but at the same time, when he passed on, there was a big dispute of how he's gonna have a send-off. Will he be buried? Would he be cremated? What's gonna happen? Because of his journey of self-inquiry and to eliminate prejudice that some form aspects of religion create. So he created one love in all religions. And his desire was to take away the pressure that we feel from following anything in one thing. So he was promoting love and harmony within all religions. So his dispute of passing was his followers say, we'll take him here, we'll take him here. I mean, to the point I feel like he was already gone. So wherever he died, he left flowers for his followers. It's almost like an apple that he created, that he was gone, and wherever he was, he left flowers for them. So while I was preparing in this morning, I was just reminding of this one couplet from him, which I will choose to close with. And it has to do with self-inquiry in some way. And it goes like this. I'll say it in Hindi, and then I will translate it in what it means in English. Nindak nire rakhiye, angan kuti chawai, bin sabun pani bina, nirmal diyo savai. One has to have a healthy amount of criticism around, close enough, because that is the immediate way of self-revelation of our flaws and errors. That if we have somebody, some instance that is reminding us of what we are lacking, we can tune into it and improve upon ourselves. And I know I'm paraphrasing the explanation of it, but in just, that's what it means. So if anybody or any circumstance or life event feels critical of your own journey, just ask the simple thing. What is it trying to tell me? What is it trying to teach me? What part of me it's trying to reveal that I need to work with, not work on, work with? Then it becomes participating, and it gives us enough encouragement to take our journey to a whole different level of our reality. So enjoy your critics, enjoy people that have been hard on you, enjoy those people that have put you in a place for whatever their purpose was, but at the same time, just remember, they have left us with an opportunity to grow in our own way for our highest best. And that, my friends, we all need to remember. We're always growing for our highest best. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Joy. Now, during our musical interlude, we'll be passing the basket, and we thank you in advance for your generosity. Our musical interlude will be presented by Jamie.
I get my band ready. I'm so nervous. Y'all, I don't know why I'm so nervous today. Letting go of every single dream. I lay each one down at your feet. Every moment of my wandering, never what you see. I've tried to win this war, I confess. My hands are weary, I need your rest. Mighty warrior, king of the fight. No matter what I face, you're by my side. When you don't move the mountains, I need you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers, when I cry for you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. Truth is, you know what tomorrow brings. There's not a day ahead you have not seen. So in all things, be my life and breath. I want what you want, Lord, and nothing less. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers, when I cry out for you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. I will trust in you. You are my strength, my comfort. You are my steady hand. You are my foundation, the rock on which I stand. Your ways are always higher. Your plans are always good. There's not a place where I go you've not already stayed. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give the answers as I cry out to you, I will trust, I will trust, I will trust in you. 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 Ooh, I almost cried there for a minute. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so very much for this day. Woo.
Thank you, Jamie. Now, if you would please join me in a prayer of thanks. We give thanks for the gifts given here today and for your guidance in using them in a way which benefits all. Amen. All right, just a few announcements. Next Wednesday, June 26th, our message bearer is Lori Carter. Next Sunday, June 30th, our guest speaker at our 10:30 service is Reverend Jerry Moore. Every Sunday, we have Adult Lyceum, also known as Adult Sunday School, from 9:30 to 10:15 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. Next Sunday, June 30th, our Lyceum speaker is the Reverend Diane Davis. This afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m., Reverend Dr. Lewis Gates will be doing a table tipping workshop in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. All are welcome, and we have 2 tickets left, I believe. So if anybody is interested, you can just go online and purchase those. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we will be having our new member orientation, session number 2, from 1 to 2 p.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building. Anyone thinking about becoming a member or wanting to learn more about the camp is welcome, and you don't have to attend the sessions in any particular order. Also, there is a jar near the front door to donate to our new sound system. Our current one is quite old, and we are looking toward upgrading our whole musical program and service. To participate in absentee hearing, please print the name and first initial of the last name of a loved one, friend, or even a pet in our healing book at the left corner of Colby Temple. Every Thursday morning, we have our healing meditation circle at 11 a.m. in the Andrew Jackson Davis Building, where all the names on the healing lists are held in prayer. All are welcome to attend. We have an activities calendar and a church bulletin, which look like this in your hymnals. And there's also some more in the back if you want to take one home to a friend or family member. Our website, casadega.org, also has the monthly information as well as other upcoming events. And now please stand for the next hymn, number 9, I Love to Tell the Story.
I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of angels and of glory, of angels and of is true. It satisfies my longing as nothing else can do. I love to tell the story, will be my beautiful story of angels and their love. I love to tell the story, more wonderful it seems, that all the golden fancies of the golden dream. I love to tell the story was for me, and that is just the reason I tell it now to thee. I love to tell the story, will be my theme of angels and their love. I love to tell the story for those who know it best. They're hungering and thirsting to live like the rest. Be the old story that I have loved so long. I love to tell the story, will be my theme of angels and their love. Beautiful. You may be seated.
And now for the message portion of our service, I'd like to bring back up Joy Sagar.
Thank you again. So I hope you recognize what you wore this morning. And if you've forgotten, please pay attention. So I'd like to come to the gentleman in the middle, with the light t-shirt with a print on. Your first name, please. Isaiah. As I'm connecting with you, I am familiar of a woman that's coming from the spirit side of life. And it's a lot of babying type of feeling for you. And part of my sense is to cater to your needs and to provide you the love and the nurturing that I feel from her. But as I'm seeing her, I feel like her life was set up for love. And I think sometimes it is tough love. And I think that's the part which I feel is a subliminal message to you, is I feel like you need to exercise that for yourself. So those that are in your perimeter of care and attention, you can have a little sense of love with them, because when things are easy, then they are too easy. And I think that's the message for you. Give yourself a little tough love yourself, because I feel that space is there for you. Now, when I'm sensing her, I feel like she is a person that gets talked over table conversations and just brings up in memories. And I feel you are still emotional of the passing and the loss with that. So I feel like all that is being recognized from her, but also at the same time, I feel like your bonding from a spiritual perspective, I think, is much stronger. And I feel if you have had closures and signs that are pretty profound or pretty distinct, and I think she will continue to provide that for you, is there. Now, I also go into your psychic field and your information. I feel like you can be very practical when you have to be, and sometimes you're just following your heart. So balance is required for you to find your accomplishments, but I just feel like you can be very free spirited, just doing whatever the wind is blowing, you go in that direction. So enjoy that space, but at the same time, my sense is the balance sometimes is beneficial. Now, I also feel like that she's talking in a manner that you need to learn a trade, or you need to get your trade together, or if you're feeling wishy-washy with it, get on board with it, but I feel like you need to have your skills in order. And with that being said, I'll leave you with that message. Thank you very much. Lady in the printed black blouse, glasses on, blonde hair, Sandra is her name. I just know her name and I know she's a part of our community, but that's all I know about her. Sandra, as I'm connecting with you, I am once again aware of a female, and she has a lot of reflection like yourself. And I feel she even sits like you, or you sit like her. Whichever way you want to take it, but I just feel like I see her sitting in a chair. Her legs are crossed, she's sitting very comfortably relaxed. And I feel like that was something I feel was a desired activity for her at the end of the day, somewhere catching a break before the evening gets busy for me. And I just feel like this moment of poise is all what I keep enjoying. And I think what we were talking about in the beginning of our lecture, that poise, that moment, I feel like that's that for her. Now, I feel your life is pretty busy unless you're off on a certain day. So she's asking in a way to say but once again, manage your energy, because I feel like your life is already in the move of change for yourself, which I think you're recognizing for you. What she's saying is you'll have to manage those breaks for yourself. So work hard, play hard, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like she's also talking about you're not playing enough. So if you're over spiritualizing your journey for whatever measure is, I feel like she's saying you need to play too. Is there. Now, I also feel like she's soothing your vocal cords or your throat, and I feel like this is like prepping you for something greater coming up. If you have a similar opportunity as our musician friend here, you might want to join them sometime. But she soothes that as though we're rehearsing or we're practicing for something there. So if you have that skill set for yourself, or if you're preparing for something coming up, I feel like feels a little bit more different sense of religion behind it or faith behind it, but she's excited to be there. But my sense with that is I feel like her evidence for you is I'm following your path for you. Now, she makes me feel like all her internal processes were impacted right up to the time of her passing. I just feel like things were starting to affect each other, and I think it's just breaking down an organ process. And she said, I escaped till before everything just fell apart. And I think that's what her phrasing is. I was about to fall apart completely, but I just exited right prior to that. So I feel like that her sense of her closure is with the humor, and I think she would have great sense of humor. She can laugh about her pain. But my sense with that is for you to understand your journey. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So this group of 4 ladies that are sitting with the green on the corner and that little with a white t-shirt on, I'm not sure where I'm going there. Your lights are like on, like I do not know if you woke up like that last year. We're ready for our spiritual journey. So I'm gonna do my best. So we'll start with the lady in the green over there. Your first name, please. Luisa. Luisa, part of what I'm sensing is I'm very much intuitively connected with you, psychic level, and I feel like you have a great tendency of mothering people. Loving and just caring and without being asked for. Might bring somebody a sandwich anticipating they're hungry. But I'm just sensing that mothering sense is there for you. And once again, minimizing is so in order. I don't want any recognition. I'm not doing anything for anything. But appreciation should be welcomed. And I feel like that's what you need to understand. The woman that you've helped cross over on the other side is saying is you need to be appreciated for your work with me. And I feel like you took part in her journey on small occasions, but not all the time. And she's saying you just did your part and you walked away every time. And she is wanting to appreciate you for your psychological help to her, because that was very needed in the end part of her journey. So please take the appreciation if you don't want the credit for things, but appreciation should be welcome. The lady on the far end, just very quickly with you, I did see you nodding your head with writing, journaling. So job is to pay attention like this, so I did a good job. But as I'm seeing with you, I do feel like you have a lot to say. And you dismiss it because you don't have the right audience. You understand that? And I feel like you need to challenge yourself. I'm gonna just speak, and whoever is supposed to get it will get it. If you keep waiting for your audience, this internal regurgitation will continuously happen there for you. I also feel like I'm connecting with a male spirit with you on the other side. And I feel like the dedication, commitment is there, but sometimes I feel like it was not 100%. He must have his own needs and wants to do whatever he wanted to do. But I feel like for a good measure, I can see he'd give whatever he thought was the best. But he needed his me time too, so he had a lot of sense of entertaining himself or habits that were just focused on himself. But he didn't think anything less of it. It was just what he had to do. He had to find his own balance. But my sense with that is he definitely has an awareness that I did not do 100% what was mine to do. So I feel when he left, he also left things half done, like they were not complete. They were not ironed out for details for anything. But I feel like family had to sort out what we want or how we're going to go about it. And for that, he's bringing a little small sense of like, I'm sorry, I didn't lay it out as should have been. But I feel like the cumulative family members did the right things. And I feel like we didn't fall apart in our own sorting things out. And I think that's the part for his enjoyment is thank you for your spirits that you didn't make it anything complicated. But he's also talking to you with the same reference as I was talking to you in the beginning, that you need to speak your truth. You need to speak yourself. And if you're articulating that it makes everybody happy, most part, you may have to once in a while step out of the comfort zone. Life is happening as we were talking about this. So please pay attention and thank you for being here. To each and everybody, thank you for being a part of my day today. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. We would like to remind everyone that we will have our afternoon message service from 12 to 12:30 in Colby Temple, right here. A group of mediums and student mediums will be giving spirit greetings to as many individuals as they can reach during this message service. Everyone is welcome. We encourage you to visit our bookstore, which is open 11:30 to 5 p.m. today and open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now please rise for a closing hymn, number 203, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and remain standing for our closing prayer.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, for peace help us and to be. Where God our creators, let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let's begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song. To take each other's hand, each moment in peace and harmony. And let it begin with me.
Mother, Father, God, infinite spirit, grant us in all our duties your help, in all perplexities your counsel, in all danger your protection, and in all sorrows your peace. Amen. Please have a wonderful day.